And welcome to question 4 of the 2022 Junior Cert Higher Level paper. So this question here is kind of a mix of like area, volume, ratios. So we got stuck in. Part A here says Kira is making an orange drink. The orange drink is made by mixing concentrate and water. The ratio of concentrate to water is 1:4. Now, straight away, without even reading part A, there are 5 parts. Okay, so that's got me the attempt. So basically, 1/5 is likely concentrate, and 4/5 are water. Okay, so that's it. Now it says part A, Kira makes 15 liters of orange drink. How many liters of concentrate does Kira work out how many liters of concentrate Kira uses to make the drink? Well, we need to get 1/5 of 15. Okay, so you multiply in the calculator. That's going to be the same thing as 15/5 because we always multiply a number by the top of the fraction. So 15 by 1 is 15. Still divided by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So 3 liters. That should be it. So nice enough, as long as you don't get overly intimidated by ratios, which, through my experience, lots of people do. They're just a different way of writing fractions. For example, the common phrase 50-50, which we might hear most often, is really just a half is to a half, which sounds awkward to say, I guess, culturally, which is the same thing as 1:1. It's all the same thing. It all means you're splitting it in two. Okay. So then part B says, Kira sells glasses of the orange drink for 20 cents each. Each glass contains 250 mils of the drink. She sells 10 liters. Okay. The total cost was 550. Work out her profit as a percentage of the total cost and then give your answer to one decimal place. And they very nicely give us a picture of a glass of orange juice, which is helpful. Now, there's lots going on here. Okay. So I would read it multiple times. Okay. Maybe underline important information. The pint two is 20 cents. 250 mils, so each glass is that, and they give us 10 liters. Now they notice here, this is in milliliters, this is in liters. Okay, so I might want to write down that in 1 liter, there's 1,000 milliliters. That'll most likely get the attempt as well. You're showing problem solving and knowledge. So the total cost, okay, so the cost to Kira to make the whole thing was €5.50. So we want to see how much profit she made. So 10 liters, okay, so well, we said there, if 1 liter is equal to 1,000 mils, this is a conversion factor. Well, 2 liters is equal to 2,000, 3 liters is 3,000, 10 liters is equal to 10,000 milliliters. Now, mathematically, the way I always present this is pretty simple, but is to convert 1 into 10, you're multiplying by 10. If you do it to one side, you have to do the same thing to everything on the far side. So basically, you're multiplying both sides by 10 to convert up. Okay. Now, if she had 10,000 milliliters of juice, how many glasses could she get? So divide that by 250. Now, I'm going to tap down the calculator, divide it by 250. She got 40 glasses. Okay. Now, she sold each of those 40 at 20 cents each. Okay. So there's 40 by 0.2, which I should be able to do in my head, but I'm not going to even attempt it. So that was €8. So she made €8 and it cost her 550 to make it. Okay, so 8 take away 550 is equal to €2.5. I'm being disorganized in my work. And we've done a lot. Okay, that usually would be the answer, but they're tagging on this percentage profit. Okay, so the formula for that is, so the percentage profit is equal to profit over the cost multiplied by 100%. Now, and the answer on the next page, okay, it's down here. So percentage profit is profit over total cost. So the profit was 2.5. The total cost was 8. Multiply that by 100, throw it through the calculator. and I got 31.25%, which, is not bad. Okay. Um, and there's no number there that's making me feel like this couldn't be right. So then part C, where we get into the kind of area volume part of it, each volume, or so each glass is approximately the shape of a cylinder. So no harm drawing it out. Okay, a very badly drawn cylinder with a diameter of 6, centimeters and a height of 10. Find the volume of a glass correct to the nearest centimeter cubed. So if you look it up in the maths tables, the volume of a cylinder is basically pi r squared, which is the area of a disk, okay, times the height, okay, or we often just say pi r squared h. Okay, now we need to know what the radius is. Okay, we know what pi is. Pi is roughly 3.14, or the button on the calculator, and h is equal to 10. But the radius, we were given the diameter is equal to 6, so the radius is equal to half that, which is equal to 3. Now I'm trying to work out my fancy new pen. If I figured out there earlier, if I press a button, the eraser comes on, which is fantastic. So if I put these in, I would just leave the pi button for the calculator. Okay, multiply by 3 squared. Okay, multiplied by the height of 10. So make sure you put them in right, and don't forget this often gets dropped off from the formula when it's been rewritten. And I put that through, and now I'll go to the answer on the next page. I got 90 pi, okay, which sometimes they ask you to leave the answer in terms of pi, and that's usually an indication that the answer is a decimal. But in this case, they want you to convert it to the nearest cm cubed. So it comes out as 282.74 centimeters cubed, but we want it to the nearest centimeter, so the 7 here is what matters. 7 is greater than 5, so the number before it rounds up by 1 to give us the 283, and that's a volume, so it's centimeters cubed. And that's it. So it's a fairly challenging question 4 in the scheme of things. Lots of things and extra steps to do, not as straightforward in most parts as we might have liked. But as always, if you want a copy of the notes I'm working off, just send me an email at shanetroy@gmail.com. Like and subscribe to get access to more playlists. See you on question 5.